Hello and welcome to SaltWire today for Wednesday, March 8th. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Nova Scotia is investing $25 million in St. Mary's University to create new programs to train people in healthcare data analytics and healthcare system administration. The investment will fund a diploma program in healthcare analytics and a business administration program for healthcare administrators, office directors, and family doctors, and will work with the Nova Scotia Community College to expand options for students to combine college and university learning.
This is a different way of doing things that will bring a new level of data-informed decision-making to our healthcare system. Your graduates are going to help save lives. Your graduates are going to help healthcare workers and leaders make life-saving decisions through using data.
This investment is part of a series of commitments in Action for Health, the government's plan to transform and improve healthcare in Nova Scotia, and follows the announcement of a $59 million to create a new medical school campus at Cape Breton University. Well, today is International Women's Day, and to recognize the day, the province is giving $8 million to help organizations that support women who have been targeted by gender-based violence. Here's a look at how some of that money is being distributed. $4 million of that money will go towards Transition House Association of Nova Scotia. Other transition houses and women's centers in the province will receive money that will help with things like operational budgets, programming, and more resources. Halifax Regional Council has approved the spending of $11 million to build a new affordable housing development in the city to help those who are experiencing homelessness or at risk of becoming so. The 38-unit building, backed by the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, will be located on Brunswick Street next door to the charity's Hope Cottage Soup Kitchen and will be managed by the North End Community Health Centre. Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation requires that 25% of the units are for women, 15% for African Nova Scotians or urban Indigenous residents, and preference will also be given to seniors, LGBTQ people, and those with disabilities. The entire project will cost $14.5 million, and there have been talks with the province in hopes that it will contribute $3 million. If all goes according to plan, people could start moving in by November 2024. Well, online dating has its challenges. In a new exhibit in Bedford, a local artist is exploring that world of dating online using dolls and photography. SaltWire's Jen Taplin has the details.
After 2.5 years of online dating, artist Vanessa Iafola thought it would be the perfect subject for her first solo art exhibition.
Personally, I've spent a lot of time online dating, and I thought it would be a really interesting way to more academically or intellectually explore what online dating is like for people today.
She remodeled dolls to better resemble real people and created profiles for them. The profiles are compiled from real posts Iafola has seen over the years.
There's a lot of preconceived ideas about online dating, what it's really like. I find that people who've never done it are like, oh, why don't you just go online? You'll meet somebody. It's so easy. And it's a different way to have a new challenge, I find, meeting people.
She used her training as a criminologist and a researcher to add in all the little details to the dolls, including tattoos.
I am a fraud consultant. I work with victims of fraud and legal counsel, helping people who have lost money due to fraud. And I also teach online at Laurier University in Ontario.
Fielding season is on display at the Viewpoint Gallery in Bedford until April 2nd. In Bedford, I'm Jen Taplin with the SaltWire Network.
Good news for music lovers here in Halifax. It was announced today that the Junos are returning to the East Coast next year. Halifax will play host to the award show on Sunday, March 24th, 2024. It's the first time since 2006. This year's Junos will take place in Edmonton this coming Monday, March 13th. It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with Liz Leclerc about urging Nova Scotia to adopt a law similar to one in PEI, banning the abuse of non-disclosure agreements.
Do you see any similarities between, progressive conservative government in Prince Edward Island, a progressive conservative government in Nova Scotia, the possibility that this might move forward?
At this time, no. So the Premier and his team have made it abundantly clear to myself and the campaign and to many others working on this, that this is not a priority for them. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't understand why it wouldn't be. There's nothing certainly progressive about that opinion. As we're heading into International Women's Day and a lot of reflection on lifting up women, women are disproportionately impacted by NDAs, women of color in particular. So I think I really don't understand at this point what's holding us back. The jurisdictional review, we now have the UK and Ontario have both banned the use of non-disclosure agreements in educational settlements. BC is looking to table the legislation this spring. Manitoba's tabled the legislation, and it continues to snowball. So I think either our government's going to step up and be a part of this movement, or they're going to be shown to be left behind. I'm not really sure what's holding them back. I certainly would welcome the Premier and his government stepping up and passing this legislation as soon as possible.
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of SaltWire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
What a 2023 Prince Edward Island Canada Games it was for Team Nova Scotia. Pleased to be joined by Laurie Lancaster, who is the chef de mission for Team Nova Scotia. Laurie, welcome. First of all, congratulations on a fabulous games. It's been a couple of days. What are your kind of thoughts now as you look back?
Oh, Scott, it has been a couple of days, and I think you can still hear a little bit of the rasp in my voice from the enormous cheering that take place. But, I've had a few days to reflect on, I think, the enormity and how special those games were for Team Nova Scotia on a number of different levels. Certainly celebrating our incredible athletes and coaches on, our best ever medal finish in a winter games. So that's something that we're celebrating with everyone, and just overall, just a very memorable, rewarding, and special time these 2023 games were in Prince Edward Island.
What are a couple of other things that you're going to take away that years from now, you're still going to look back on fondly and it's going to make you smile?
For me personally, I think it was taking home a lot of those wonderful experiences on Prince Edward Island. I'm a very proud Prince Edward Islander. Many mission staff, we were driving around and they just said, Laurie knows where to go, right? So just drive with Laurie, she knows where to go. So being able to relish the fact that we were doing so well as a province in my home province, I think was really wonderful. I got to see my family members a little bit more, so sharing that special time with them.
Absolutely amazing. Well, Laurie, thank you so much for your time today. And again, congratulations on all of the success, not only for Team Nova Scotia, but the Prince Edward Island Games as a whole. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Scott. Take care.
In Halifax, I'm Scott Squires for the Atlantic Sports Wire.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now. To see what's coming up in the forecast, we're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Thanks, Kate. Well, it was another cloudy day here in HRM. We still had some isolated flurries around. I think the big change today, though, was just how strong the winds were. We will be dealing with strong winds over the next 24 hours. We have more flurries to talk about, but a bit of sunshine coming up in the forecast. This evening, it will be mainly cloudy with a chance of flurries, and we'll have the temperature near 0, waking up near -1 on our Thursday morning with mainly cloudy skies and a low chance of flurries. And we'll hold on to that low chance of flurries throughout the day on Thursday with mainly cloudy skies and a high of 2 degrees forecast. Now, northerly winds of 20 to 40 kilometers per hour will persist tonight, throughout the day tomorrow, and at times will gust up to 50 kilometers per hour. Clouds will also dominate on our Friday, but the chance of flurries will start to diminish, and then the upcoming weekend looking pretty nice with a mix of sun and cloud. The next storm on my radar at this point, not possible until Tuesday. Keeping an eye on that in the long term, but overall in the short term, no major systems in the forecast. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to SaltWire.com. And you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.